Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Ron Perlman is an American actor whose deep, gravelly voice and powerful presence have made him one of Hollywood's most distinctive and enduring performers. Born on April 13, 1950. In Washington Heights, New York City, Perlman grew up in a working-class Jewish family. He developed an early love for acting and storytelling, later earning a master's degree in theater arts from the University of Minnesota, a background that gave him both classical training and a deep respect for the craft of performance. Perlman's career began on stage before he made his film debut in Jean-Jacques Annaud's Quest for Fire, 1981, where he played a prehistoric tribesman, a role that set the tone for many of his early parts, physically transformative, emotionally charged, and deeply human despite their unusual appearances. His breakout came with the 1987 to 1990 CBS television series Beauty and the Beast, where he portrayed Vincent, the gentle, lion-faced dweller of New York's underground world. His performance earned him a Golden Globe Award and cemented his status as a cult icon. In the years that followed, Perlman built a career on versatility and commitment to unique roles. He became a frequent collaborator with visionary directors such as Guillermo del Toro, starring in Cronos, 1993, Blade 2, 2002, and most famously, Hellboy, 2004, and its sequel Hellboy 2. The Golden Army, 2008. As Hellboy, Perlman brought humor, heart, and humanity to a character covered in red prosthetics and horns, a performance that remains one of his most beloved and defining. Beyond his monster and antihero roles, Perlman has appeared in a wide range of projects, from indie dramas to major blockbusters. He's known for his work in The Name of the Rose, 1986, The City of Lost Children, 1995, and the acclaimed TV series Sons of Anarchy, 2008 to 2013, in which he played Clay Morrow, a morally complex biker gang leader. His deep, commanding voice also made him a sought-after voice actor, with roles in Tangled, Fallout, Teen Titans, and The Book of Life, among many others. Off-screen, Ron Perlman is known for his intelligence, candor, and outspoken political views. He has often used his platform to advocate for social justice and critique hypocrisy in Hollywood and beyond. Despite his intimidating screen presence, those who've worked with him often describe him as warm, generous, and fiercely loyal, a craftsman who takes his work seriously but never loses his sense of humor. Now well into his 70s, Perlman continues to act in film, television, and voice work, showing no signs of slowing down. His long and eclectic career is a testament to his belief that character, not glamour, defines great acting. From the underground tunnels of Beauty and the Beast to the infernal world of Hellboy, Ron Perlman has built a legacy as one of cinema's most unique and unforgettable performers. Ron Perlman's long and unconventional journey through Hollywood is a story of perseverance, artistic integrity, and the triumph of individuality over conformity. From his earliest days, Perlman faced challenges that might have discouraged a less determined actor. Growing up, he was often self-conscious about his appearance and struggled with confidence, feelings that would later become an unexpected strength, allowing him to inhabit unusual and complex characters with empathy and authenticity. His father, a jazz drummer turned television repairman, and his mother, a municipal employee, encouraged his creative ambitions, helping him find purpose in art and performance. After earning his MFA in theater, Perlman worked extensively on stage, honing his skills in Shakespearean and classical productions. But despite his training, he found film and television opportunities scarce. His unconventional looks made casting directors hesitant, But when director Jean-Jacques Annaud cast him in Quest for Fire, Perlman's raw expressiveness and physical commitment turned heads. That performance marked the beginning of a career defined by bold transformations and emotional depth beneath the makeup. His next major collaboration with Annaud came in The Name of the Rose, 1986. Opposite Sean Connery and Christian Slater. Playing Salvatore, the disfigured monk, Perlman again demonstrated his gift for finding humanity in characters who appear grotesque or alien. Then came Beauty and the Beast, which transformed him into a household name. His portrayal of Vincent, part man, part beast, entirely poetic, captivated audiences with its combination of sensitivity and power. Under the heavy prosthetics, Perlman delivered a nuanced performance that spoke of loneliness, nobility, and compassion, winning him widespread acclaim. Throughout the 1990s, Perlman continued to build a career that defied typecasting. He starred in Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Marc Caro's surreal masterpiece The City of Lost Children, 1995, where his ability to convey emotion through silence and gesture was on full display. His role in Alien: Resurrection, 1997, brought him into big-budget Hollywood. And his work with Guillermo del Toro in Cronos, 1993, laid the foundation for one of the most enduring actor-director partnerships in modern cinema. Their collaboration reached its peak with Hellboy, 2004, and Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, 2008. Perlman's portrayal of the cigar-smoking demon-turned-hero was both mythic and relatable, equal parts action star, philosopher, and comedian. He made the role iconic, embodying the idea of an outcast struggling to find belonging. Even years later, fans still campaign for a third installment with Perlman, seeing no other actor as truly Hellboy. Perlman's television work in the 2000s and 2010s added new dimensions to his legacy. In Sons of Anarchy, he gave a chilling and complex performance as Clay Morrow, the manipulative yet deeply human patriarch of a motorcycle club. The role showcased his ability to play moral ambiguity with gravitas, making Clay one of TV's most memorable anti-heroes. Off-screen, Ron Perlman is known for his outspoken political and social stances. He has used his social media presence to advocate for equality, environmental causes, and human rights, often with the same fiery conviction he brings to his roles. Despite his fierce persona, Perlman frequently emphasizes empathy, self-awareness, and artistic truth as the guiding forces of his life. In interviews, he often reflects on the nature of transformation, both physical and emotional, in acting. He has said that hiding behind masks and prosthetics allows him to access deeper truths about the human condition, stripping away vanity and exposing vulnerability. This philosophy underlies much of his work, the belief that beauty and strength come from imperfection and that monsters often have the most human hearts. Even as he enters his later years, Perlman continues to work prolifically in film, independent cinema, and voice acting. His voice remains one of the most recognizable in entertainment, lending weight to animated series, video games, and narrations, from Fallout and Tangled to Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, 2023. Ron Perlman's career is not that of a typical Hollywood star. It is the story of a man who built a lasting legacy by embracing the unconventional, an artist who made the grotesque noble, the monstrous beautiful, and the outsider heroic. Through every role, he has carried the same message, that strength lies in authenticity, and that humanity often hides beneath the mask. Ron Perlman's personal life, much like his career, reflects depth, loyalty, and a fierce commitment to authenticity. Though he has often described himself as a reluctant celebrity, he values honesty above image, an attitude that has earned him admiration from colleagues and fans alike. Perlman was married for nearly 4 decades to fashion and jewelry designer Opal Stone Perlman, with whom he shares 2 children, daughter Blake and son Brandon. The couple, who wed in 1981, often kept their family life private, though Perlman occasionally spoke about how grounding family was for him amid the chaos of Hollywood. Their daughter, Blake Perlman, followed in his footsteps, appearing in films such as Pacific Rim, 2013, where she even performed a song for the soundtrack. After his separation from Opal in 2019, Perlman later became romantically involved with actress Alison Dunbar, his co-star in Startup, 2016 to 2018, whom he married in 2022. Perlman has always had a strong sense of moral clarity, a trait that extends beyond acting. He has been candid about his struggles, including self-doubt in his youth and the insecurity he felt about his appearance early in his career. Instead of conforming to Hollywood's beauty standards, he turned those insecurities into strengths, portraying characters who embodied resilience, empathy, and defiance in the face of rejection. This quality makes Perlman an actor of substance rather than glamour. In numerous interviews, he has expressed his disdain for vanity and pretension in the film industry. He often criticizes the superficiality of Hollywood and champions the underdog, both on screen and off. His social media presence, particularly on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, reveals a man unafraid to speak truth to power, often political, blunt, and fiercely protective of decency and justice. He's an advocate for equality, animal rights, and environmental causes, frequently using his influence to call out hypocrisy or abuse of authority. Despite his intensity, those who work with him describe Perlman as deeply kind and surprisingly gentle. Directors like Guillermo del Toro and Jean-Pierre Jeunet often note his humility and ability to find humanity within the most bizarre or monstrous characters. Del Toro has called Perlman his cinematic brother, crediting him as a muse and a collaborator who understands the poetic heart of the grotesque. Perlman, in turn, has said that Del Toro writes monsters the way Shakespeare wrote kings, and that he is drawn to those roles because they allow him to explore what it means to be human in the most unexpected forms. Voice acting has been another major pillar of Perlman's career. His unmistakable baritone voice, gravelly, commanding, and filled with gravitas, has brought life to dozens of animated and video game characters. He voiced the villain Slade, Deathstroke, in Teen Titans, the narrator in the Fallout series, with the iconic line, "War never changes," the Stabbington brother in Disney's Tangled, and Lord Hood in Halo 2. His voice is so iconic that it has become a symbol of authority, strength, and dark humor across media. In recent years, Perlman has continued to take on challenging and unusual roles, refusing to be confined by age or type. He appeared in Nightmare Alley, 2021, once again reuniting with Del Toro, and in The Last Victim, 2022, Poker Face, 2023, and The Baker, 2022. Even in his 70s, he remains a formidable presence on screen, his performances layered with wisdom, grit, and compassion. What makes Ron Perlman truly remarkable is not just his longevity, but his consistency of spirit. Whether playing a demon, a biker, a medieval monk, or an animated villain, he infuses his roles with moral complexity and a sense of melancholy beauty. He once said, "I'm drawn to the broken, the misfits, the ones who are trying to make sense of their pain, because that's where the truth is." That philosophy, that truth resides in imperfection, runs through all of his work. Perlman stands as one of the last true character actors in an era that often prizes celebrity over substance. His legacy is one of courage, to be different, to dig deeper, and to never apologize for the things that make you unique. Ron Perlman's body of work is vast, diverse, and deeply intertwined with his personal philosophy as an artist, that the most meaningful performances come from vulnerability, not vanity. His career can be divided into several eras, each representing different facets of his growth as an actor: the early years of experimentation, the rise to cult fame, the collaborations with visionary directors, and the late career resurgence that solidified him as a respected elder statesman of cinema. Early career. The outsider ascends in the 1970s and early 1980s. Perlman struggled to find steady work. Despite his master's degree in theater and commanding stage presence, Hollywood had little interest in unconventional leading men. His unique facial structure, often described as classically expressive, rather than handsome, limited him in an era that favored polished looks. But Perlman's perseverance paid off when Jean-Jacques Annaud cast him in Quest for Fire, 1981, a film set 80,000 years in the past that required no spoken language. The role demanded pure physical storytelling, and Perlman delivered with primal intensity and emotional clarity. It was a breakthrough moment that revealed his gift for nonverbal acting, a trait that would define much of his later work. Following that success, he took on another transformative role in The Name of the Rose, 1986, where he portrayed the hunchbacked, eerie, yet strangely innocent monk Salvatore. Acting alongside Sean Connery, Perlman showed his ability to bring soulfulness to the grotesque, conveying more through his eyes and movement than most actors do through dialogue. The Beauty and the Beast years, 1987 to 1990. Then came Beauty and the Beast, a CBS series that changed his life. As Vincent, the leonine dweller beneath the streets of New York, Perlman was buried under layers of prosthetics, but what shone through was raw emotion. His chemistry with Linda Hamilton as Catherine Chandler was magnetic, tragic, romantic, and deeply spiritual. The series developed a cult following, elevating Perlman from character actor to leading man. It also earned him a Golden Globe and made him a symbol of empathy and otherness. Vincent became an emblem of misunderstood nobility, a role perfectly suited to Perlman's worldview. The 1990s, artistic exploration throughout the 1990s. Perlman became a go-to actor for directors seeking depth and presence. His collaborations with European filmmakers, especially Jean-Pierre Jeunet, gave him space to experiment. In The City of Lost Children, 1995, he played a gentle giant in a surreal steampunk world, another character who, though physically imposing, radiated tenderness. The performance was almost wordless, yet profoundly emotional. Hollywood began to recognize his power, casting him in larger productions like Alien, Resurrection, 1997, and Enemy at the Gates, 2001. These roles showed his ability to blend seamlessly into ensemble casts while adding a layer of humanity and menace that made him stand out. The Guillermo del Toro era. The turning point of Perlman's mature career came with Guillermo del Toro, a director who saw him not as a supporting player but as a muse. Their first collaboration, Cronos, 1993, was Del Toro's debut feature and marked the beginning of a lifelong creative partnership. Del Toro admired Perlman's ability to portray monsters as mirrors of the human soul. Their partnership reached its apex with Hellboy, 2004, and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, 2008. In these films, Perlman didn't just play a superhero, he embodied one. His Hellboy was sardonic, lonely, brave, and burdened by destiny. Beneath the red makeup, cigar, and stone fist was a character full of humor and heart. Perlman's portrayal was so authentic that fans still consider him the definitive version of the character, despite later reboots. Television Renaissance, Sons of Anarchy and Beyond in 2008. Perlman took on another iconic role as Claymaro in FX's Sons of Anarchy. As the ruthless and charismatic leader of the Samcro Motorcycle Club, he balanced charm and menace with Shakespearean gravitas. The role demanded emotional complexity. Clay was both patriarch and betrayer, lover and tyrant. Perlman infused him with a sense of tragic inevitability, transforming what could have been a crime drama archetype into a rich character study. This period also saw him in projects like Hand of God, 2014 to 2017, Startup, 2016 to 2018, and numerous voice roles that showcased his versatility. His deep, resonant voice, described by one critic as a growl wrapped in poetry, became a signature element of his identity. Philosophy and legacy. What unites all of Perlman's work is his empathy for the misunderstood. He has often said that he's drawn to characters who live on society's margins, the ones judged, feared, or ignored, because they reveal what's most human in us. "I don't play monsters," he once said. "I play people who are labeled monsters by those who don't understand them." Perlman's philosophy as an artist is rooted in compassion and defiance. He sees acting as an act of truth-telling, a way to expose vulnerability in a world obsessed with perfection. He admires directors who embrace imperfection and actors who aren't afraid to look foolish or raw. His performances, whether as a demon, a beast, or a biker, always carry an undercurrent of longing, for love, for meaning, for redemption. Now in his 70s, Ron Perlman remains a working actor with the soul of a theater craftsman. He's involved in both independent and mainstream projects, continues to lend his voice to major franchises, and mentors younger artists. His career stands as proof that individuality is a strength, and that art, at its best, is about empathy, not ego. In a film industry obsessed with youth and surface, Ron Perlman has built a legacy on depth, courage, and authenticity. He may play monsters, but his work has always been about the beauty of being human. Ron Perlman's artistic legacy is remarkable not only for its longevity but for the sheer diversity and emotional depth of his roles. He has built a career on contradictions, a man of imposing presence who plays gentle souls, a Hollywood actor who remains defiantly anti-Hollywood, a performer who disappears under makeup yet leaves an indelible emotional mark. To understand the full measure of his contribution to modern screen acting, it helps to look at the themes that define his work, his collaborations with key filmmakers, and the philosophical spine that runs through his career. Themes and archetypes in his work across decades and genres. Perlman has consistently gravitated toward certain archetypes: the misunderstood outcast, the reluctant hero, and the morally ambiguous leader. These figures often struggle between their inner humanity and outer monstrosity, a reflection, perhaps, of Perlman's own lifelong meditation on identity and self-worth. In Beauty and the Beast, Vincent was the embodiment of the outsider, noble, intelligent, and deeply loving, yet hidden from the world because of his appearance. In Hellboy, the theme evolved. Hellboy is physically monstrous but emotionally human, a creature born of darkness who chooses to do good. Clay Morrow in Sons of Anarchy, on the other hand, represents the opposite dynamic, a man with a human face who gradually succumbs to moral corruption. Through these roles, Perlman explores what it means to balance darkness and light within the self. His characters are never caricatures, they're complex beings grappling with pain, isolation, and moral conflict. His approach reveals a belief that heroism often comes not from purity, but from struggle and imperfection. Collaborations and creative partnerships. Few actors have had such fruitful creative partnerships as Perlman has with directors like Guillermo del Toro and Jean-Pierre Jeunet. These collaborations highlight his unique ability to inhabit surreal, poetic worlds without losing emotional realism. Del Toro and Perlman share a deep artistic kinship. In Cronos, 1993, Perlman played Ángel de la Guardia, a morally conflicted villain whose vanity and insecurity made him both funny and tragic. The film's blend of horror and humanity set the tone for their future collaborations. Del Toro has often said that Perlman acts with his soul first, describing him as an actor who can communicate pain, humor, and wisdom simultaneously. Their later films, Blade 2, Hellboy, and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, expanded that vision. In Hellboy 2, particularly, Perlman infused the role with melancholy and humor, transforming a comic book character into a fully realized being haunted by destiny. Even their smaller projects, like Nightmare Alley, 2021, carried the signature mix of myth and humanity that defines their shared aesthetic. Similarly, Perlman's work with Jean-Pierre Jeunet, The City of Lost Children, and Jean-Jacques Annaud, Quest for Fire, The Name of the Rose, emphasized his European sensibilities, his appreciation for physical acting, atmosphere, and allegory. These directors, like Del Toro, saw in Perlman a bridge between the primal and the poetic. Voice acting, a second career of legendary status beyond live-action work, Perlman has achieved an almost mythical status in voice acting. His voice, deep, textured, and ancient-sounding, has made him one of the most sought-after narrators and character voices in animation and gaming. His narration in the Fallout series, especially the phrase "War never changes."
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.